Golly, I can't do anything.
Hey, everybody.
Hi. Podcast 2.
Yay.
We have a
Podcast
guest.
2.
Hello.
Yes, hello. All right, everybody, welcome. It's podcast number 2, live from Burbank. It's the Losmandy Podcast. We've got like all kinds of junk on the desk. I apologize about that. So there we have. So this is Tanya Canelli.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Tanya. And who do you have with us here?
This is my daughter, Delaney.
Hello.
Hi, Delaney.
She has been, we are so busy here at Losmandy, which we mentioned last week. And so she is in remote learning. Since her school, she did an independent learning academy, and that she opted to do. And so she has been able to come in and help us.
That's like learning from home, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. And so she's been able to come in and work here. And so she's been coming in to work a couple times.
A couple times a week, like twice.
Wow.
It's been so helpful, and I love having her here. And I think everybody does like.
Okay, but we're not breaking any child labor laws, are we?
No, I'm 18. So.
Okay. I wasn't.
Nope.
Maybe I shouldn't have asked. Anyways, it's good to have you here, though. But you, how often are you in?
About 2 days a week, always on Wednesdays, usually Fridays too, a half day.
Nice.
That's what I like to do. One full day, one half day.
Right. And Tanya, you were telling me a little bit about your interest and experience and how it kind of translated through your family, right?
Well, when I was younger, like in high school, I wanted to be an astronaut. That was like one of my goals, and I ended up going into
That's cool.
Yeah, went into college, physics.
Mm-hmm. Physics.
Yes, and which I couldn't do it. So I really needed to change my direction, so I ended up going in for accounting instead. But my daughter here, what are you thinking about going to college for?
Definitely astrophysics. That's going to be my major. Probably going to be minoring in actually pre-chiropractic school, just in case.
Is that like is the chiropractic, is that like a plan B kind of thing?
Yeah. And also, I just wanted to see if I like it, because you know how good I am at like back massages and all that.
Oh,
crap.
right, yes.
So, I wanted to learn more about that, see if it's something that I would enjoy. They get paid really well, so,
Yeah.
I guess
to be a
she's got goals.
chiropractor.
We're in the wrong line of work here.
Money goals. I like that, though. I'm going to get old, and she's going to have to take care of me, so.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's great.
I'll make that money.
That's right. I love it. But she is very, very smart. You guys have all heard me brag about how smart my daughter is. So
Yeah, right.
I'm really excited about her going off to college this year. And
CU Boulder.
where are you? Where?
CU Boulder, University of Colorado, Boulder.
Wow. And when are you headed out?
June? July.
I think you told me June, but maybe it's changed. Since
No,
then.
You're talking like in a couple months from now.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
I've already been saving up.
I know they're getting it together.
I know.
So she's going to be near Software Bisque. So I'll be cruising out there and saying hi to Steve. Hi,
Nice.
Steve Bisque.
Software Bisque, we use it. The SkyX.
Steve.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Even though we build competitive products in terms of the mounts, I mean, really, their stuff is a little bit higher end than us, a little bit more expensive.
Right.
And they, of course, have the software, the SkyX, and other things, which doesn't compete with us.
Right. No, I think that goes to a lot of mounts. A lot of mount manufacturers use that product.
Oh, you mean the SkyX?
Right. Because it's not just for software Bisque mounts.
That's true.
Right.
And then they also have this new, what's the new gizmo, like the new
The
onboard
Fusion?
computer? Yes.
Fusion, is that what it's called? Yeah.
Software Bisque Fusion, which is like a little piece, sort of all-in-one PC. I think it has power. I think it has internet types capabilities or connectivity.
Right. Yes.
So it's going to. And
Is
that's
it like
something
a
they're
little
pushing out.
Wi-Fi? Is it a Wi-Fi thing?
Yeah, I think so. I haven't used one yet.
I know I've been trying to get one, but I know that they are back ordered like crazy over at Fusion. So I don't want to take one away from a customer out there. I know how that is.
Yeah. Good for them.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah. So, did you have any other questions for Delaney?
I don't, but I wanted to wish you well. I think that's awesome.
Thank you.
I mean, it's a very interesting collection of things that you're going to be studying. Mm-hmm. So
I know. I'm very proud of her.
Things I'm interested in, you know.
And I also I do want to point out that when Delaney's here, we quiz her on all of the things that are happening in youth culture.
Right.
I mean, 18 is maybe not the youngest youth culture, but we ask about TikTok, things like that.
Well, she actually, to be honest with you, I would always be talking to her though, like, what are you watching? What are you watching? You know, last year. And she's like, oh, this podcast. And I was like, you know what? At the beginning of this year, I asked Scott, I said, I want to start a podcast.
Yeah.
I just think this is the way to go. And I asked Lainey, and she was like, you should. And then I talked to you about it. You got serious about it, set up this beautiful studio that we're in.
It's basically like a television studio.
Right, yeah. I mean, it's an incredible studio. So it's been a lot of fun. We've had such great responses. So I'm really happy about it. So thank you for setting it up. Thanks for inspiring me to do this because it's been a lot of fun.
That's what I would listen to when I was working here, just that podcast. It was like a 2-hour-long podcast. So I could just sit there and work. And
Yeah, I know. So this is the one who inspired me to do this, guys.
Nice. Well, thank you for coming by and saying hi.
I know. I begged her to come on, and she said that she would. So thanks, honey.
Of course.
I know you want to get back to doing some work and stuff.
Yeah,
And then,
I'm getting paid.
but thanks for coming on.
hanging
I
with
love
us
it.
lame people. Or maybe it's just me. It's lame. She likes hanging out with you.
No, I like hanging out with you.
Oh, all right.
I think you're cool.
Oh, all right.
She actually
You'd
really.
be the first person who said that in a while.
Not only do I need her so much here, but she actually really enjoys working here. And everybody, when she comes in, everybody's like, "Oh, hi, Delaney." You know, she has a nickname, Lainey. They're like, "Hi, Lainey," you know, or Delaney.
Hi,
but
Lainey.
yeah, so yeah, it's really fun. So thanks, hon.
Of course. I'll see you guys later.
Okay.
See you later, honey.
We're gonna turn down your mic. Not that that's gonna help a lot in terms of all these phones ringing.
I know,
things like
right?
that, so.
Got it, hon.
Got it okay? All right.
Thanks, Delaney.
Bye.
Let me know if you need anything.
Did you get she needs her phone back there.
Oh. Yes. There we go. All right. Now we're back on to, bye, hon. Now we're
good.
going to go back onto our normal.
Yes, so scoot this way just a hair. Just a little bit. There you go.
little bit
That's
more?
good. That's
All
good.
right.
That's good.
All right.
See now you look good in the
No, now I'm centered.
thing. Good. So what have you been up to?
Well, I downloaded Apple TV. I'm a sucker for when people email you, you know, or Apple Plus.
Oh,
They
yeah.
email you and they're like, "Oh, Apple Plus is only $4.99, but you get to try it for a week for free."
This is Apple TV Plus.
Apple TV Plus.
Right.
Yeah. So I was like, "Oh, all right, maybe I'll try it the week for free. Why not?"
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's a free trial. And I just wanted some new content to watch. Okay. And documentaries were huge last year. I think it started off with Joe, the Lion King. Remember what was that lion? The Tiger King?
Yeah, the Tiger
The
King.
Tiger King.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just the big kickoff for 2021. So documentaries just, I feel like, blew up after that, right? But so I watched this a documentary called The Elephant Queen. And it's about a tribe of elephants, and
Like actual elephants, right?
yeah. It's a documentary, and it's a great film. I loved it. I enjoyed it so much. I think it was like an hour and a half. Literally had me laughing. Some of the parts of it because how elephants interact, and just like kind of almost the same natured as we do with our children.
Right. So we actually have the I don't know if the we have the I don't know if the sound is going to come.
Oh,
up,
yes,
but this is the trailer.
Now that's
right?
Athena. Athena's the leader. She is the tribe leader, and that's her daughter Mimi. Okay, This is Mimi, and then this is the son here. Okay,
Right.
I forget his name. He was the rambunctious one.
Right.
Okay, and let me tell you, I never knew this, but the son, oh, that's little Mimi. She's so cute. And there's the other one. I seriously loved this. I loved this movie. I love this documentary. It's so worth the time. You guys should really watch it. And then there's this bird called Steven. Was
that Steven there?
Yes. Oh my God. And he would just get lost. And oh God, it was a lot of fun. I loved it. I mean, just, yeah.
Okay, I don't think we're gonna play the entire thing here, but
You can do that on, yeah.
but you were saying that because usually when there are documentaries about wildlife, generally they're kind of, I mean, wildlife in the earth, right, especially in Africa and things, is just it's usually a sad story. And you think that you describe this as being very funny.
It was. It wasn't sad at all. It was really funny. I mean, there was just some really funny things like beetles with poop. like get all excited about when the elephants do their thing and then they go over and then they fight over it. The beetles do.
Right.
It is hilarious.
Good poop humor.
Yeah, it's good poop humor.
Okay.
But I definitely recommend it. So anybody out there wants to watch it. So
Okay, very good.
But in the part of the documentary, the skies are so dark, and then it made me kind of rolls into your observatory, and I had a couple questions about that.
Oh yeah, okay. But so just to wrap up, the Elephant Queen. Is the name of the documentary. It's on Apple TV Plus.
Mm-hmm. I think
right?
it's $4.99 a month. Not a bad subscription.
Well, the Apple TV Plus is $4.99 a month, and then this movie comes along for free as part of that, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So that's great. Love it.
Yeah.
Now what are we going to talk about?
We are going to talk about your remote observatory.
Really?
How's it going down there?
This is the telescope that I have that's down in Chile at
Yes.
Obstec, in a place called El Sos Observatory. It's in the Atacama Desert. I showed an example last time, and in fact, you know what?
Do you have an image? This like your latest?
Yeah, I think we were going to do something about that. Right?
Okay.
So let me see if I can.
While you're looking for that, how do you decide what you're going to shoot or what you're going to image or what the object of that time is? I know some of it has to do with the seasons of it, but like this season, how did you decide on the objects that you want to shoot, that you want to make sure that you get an image of?
So I think you're asking, how do I pick the targets?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So there's a lot of ways that people go about that. There's some online resources like Telescopius.
Okay,
It's a
I've
good
heard you
one.
mention that one before.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There is, of course, planetarium programs like Sky Safari.
Okay.
Stellarium is another
Right,
one. It's a
okay.
free one, which is a really good one.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm kind of low tech. So usually what I will do, because when we're down there, the seeing is so good. I mean, it's about 1,500 meters altitude, and there's like literally no light pollution. The seeing gets down to maybe less than half an arc second.
Wow.
On a regular
That's a
basis.
normal.
That's normal for that place, and it's just insane. So, the ability to gather light and have things be, incredibly clean in terms of the signal, is extremely high. So, I'm very sensitive about the moon position and the moon.
So the moon plays a part.
Moon plays a big part.
Right, yeah.
And then kind of just what's available during the night. So usually what I'll do is I'll pull up a planetarium program, kind of look around at the night. I mean, usually it's pretty clear about what's available and not. And I think I use, I mostly use Sky Safari.
Okay.
And then what I do is just kind of click on it. I'll take a look. I use, right now we're using Sequence Generator Pro as the acquisition software.
Okay.
And so what we'll do is we will kind of look at the target, kind of size it up, just kind of, we use, there's a framing and mosaic wizard inside of Sequence Generator, so you can actually see what it looks like in terms of how big is it on the chip, things like that.
Okay.
We look at the magnitude and things like that and kind of make a plan for, maybe 2 or 3 or 4 targets a night. Usually it's 2 or 3 kind of thing, because we tend to go pretty deep. So 20, 30, 40, 60 hours. To really get some interesting stuff. So I'm going to show you, this is the latest, this isn't the latest, but this is one we finished recently.
Okay. Oh.
What is this? This is NGC 1532. It is a unusual galaxy. It's actually,
Oh my gosh, it is.
So beautiful. Just look at this.
But yeah, so
Look at this.
What's happening here, I don't know if you can see this, but this little tiny galaxy is interacting with this larger galaxy.
Okay.
And what's happening there is it's causing these sort of tidal forces and disruptions to the galaxies, which of course happens all the time. With these galaxies, they sort of interact and then they kind of combine together, as what's going to happen with the Milky Way and the Andromeda galaxy in probably not too long. Well, 100 million years, billion years, something like that. But this is a beautiful target.
It is.
It's a little noisy. I think this was sort of early on in the processing.
Okay.
I like that there is some, some background galaxies you can see here.
Yeah, look
that
at
look
this.
really interesting. And the ability to kind of tease out some of the details in the background, like these smaller ones, is it's kind of one of those things that it makes shooting down there in Chile with those incredible pristine skies so interesting.
Wow.
So,
do you know how many people are down there? How many pads are taken? If they have any available?
Well, they continue. So this is OBSTech,
Right.
OBSTECH, and I believe their website is obstech.org,
Okay.
.org, so you can, of course, look. There's a couple of videos on YouTube that show off kind of the facility.
Oh, neat.
And I believe that there is, we're in roof 5, so there's got to be roof 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Okay.
They're continuing to build new ones. There's a couple of other services down there. There's a couple of universities down there.
Oh.
There's one guy down there. I'm not going to mention his name. I don't have his permission, but this guy, he's an individual, and I think he has something like 4 or 5 plane wave telescopes, and they just installed a personal 1 meter telescope.
Oh, wow.
Which is a huge deal. It takes a team of people to even just set it up and get it there.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think, can I tell everybody that you're getting a new one?
Yeah.
What are you getting, Brian?
Well, we had a Planewave 17.
Okay.
And we had some issues with it. I mean, it's a great telescope. I mean, obviously the pictures that I'm showing here are from it.
Right.
But we had some issues, and we felt like we could do better with a slightly larger telescope. So we are in the process of moving to a 20-inch Planewave, which doesn't sound like a lot more, but I think someone said something like 30% more light gathering capability.
Okay.
So that's pretty big.
Yeah,
deal.
you have to have really clear skies to be able to do something with like a 20-inch. Because you couldn't take advantage of a 20-inch here in California. Is that correct? Just because the seeing conditions,
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like it's like if you bought a sports car, like a Ferrari or something. I mean, you could buy it and use it anywhere, right? You can use it in California,
that's true.
You could use it downtown, but are you really going to get the most out of it when you're driving in urban traffic? Like probably
from light to light to light.
Yeah, I mean, you'll look cool, right?
Yeah, you'll look great.
Be
I see a lot of them around here in LA. So
I know.
And they're pretty impressive looking.
They are.
So,
that is true.
Yeah. Well, excellent. So next on the list,
What do we got?
I was going to talk about our Losmandy community
Yes.
that we have out there. I have a great success story, Brian. I know I've shared it with you, but I would like to share it with everybody watching.
I would love for you to do this because there are some heroes, some non-Losmandy heroes in the Losmandy community that I think deserve some recognition.
Yes. Okay. So I got an email from Hugo Garnica, who's just recently bought one of our Losmandy mounts. He was having a little bit of trouble with it. So he's a local person. So he brought it in. Scott worked it up, adjusted it. He took it back, and he was still having some issues. So he was explaining it on the Losmandy community group, and one of our I think he has like 5 or 6 mounts of ours. Michael Herman,
right? He does. He has something like, at least 3 or 4. He just bought a G11T.
Yeah, I mean, he is a Losmandy. He loves them. He really does. And he called up Hugo and said, you know what? I've got this gentleman by the name of Andrew. Give him a call. And now, mind you, these are complete strangers. Okay, helping this guy just to help because they want to help. And called Andrew, and Andrew said, let's try this. I think he was having some guiding issues. Okay, and in the RA, I don't know. Mind you, I don't know much about this stuff. I just can talk it. And so Andy gave him a technique about balancing the RA in which the elevation brought down to 0 degree and then loosen the RA clutch enough to be able to pull the RA head slightly out of socket. Mind you, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm reading this. Brian could explain it.
That's okay. I mean,
Brian could explain it. So then Andy proceeded to check up on my progress after a few days. It has been 3 nights with an RA RMS of 0.64 that he is getting now. Just by the help of Andrew helping him out. Well, Michael and Andrew. And,
right. So his total, because he did call, I mean, I deal with tech support, right? So he did call. Mm-hmm. And he was having some issues, and we were trying to figure out what was going on. And we couldn't quite figure it out because we're limited in we can't see the mount. We can't see what's going on. We don't know what's really happening. We can't put our hands on it. So we kind of have to rely on everybody.
Right.
To
And
tell
every
us.
setup, I know that every setup plays a role in the, it plays a role in, so that's why Michael, I don't know what I'm trying to say there, but that's why Michael gave him Andrew's number, because Andrew had a very, very similar setup to this gentleman. So I know that your setup, it does make a difference to what your setup might be. You might need to do different techniques. And so join that Losmandy community group if you're a Losmandy mount owner or planning on getting a Losmandy mount. Please join that group. They're great bunch of guys out there.
Right, and we do have, I believe. So this is a picture he sent us.
Oh yes,
Hugo sent us this.
Yes, this is his.
And what did he mention anything about this in his email? But I think this is his first light.
Yes,
rather.
It's the globular cluster M13 shot with a ZWO camera. Mr. Star Guy.
Crazy beautiful.
Yeah. And a stellar view. Stellar view makes great telescopes.
Yeah. So it looks like a great first light. I mean, globular clusters are some of the hardest things to shoot because they really demand a lot from your mount and from your optics. Everything's just got to be pinpoint sharp.
Wow.
And it looks like he's done a really great job on that.
Yeah, great job, Hugo. And thanks, everybody in the Losmandy group, Michael Herman and Andrew out there. Really appreciate all of your help to get people up and running.
Yeah, so I did want to point out, so when we did kind of hear from Hugo about this solution, his, what he realized was his mount was slightly out of balance, and and he figured out how to get it more in balance. And that was actually a feature that we had done in our YouTube channel.
We did, you did that, and you did mention this similar solution that was for Hugo. Correct?
Yeah, so there's a technique where, because Losmandy mounts tend to be a little bit sticky when it comes to balancing, and we did a video dedicated to balancing your mount.
Yes.
It can be a little frustrating when it's sticky.
Okay.
But there's a technique, and we talk about it at the end of this.
Oh, okay.
And the technique is to essentially you load up your mount with all your counterweights and everything else.
Okay.
And of course your telescope and what have you. And then you rotate the altitude adjustment until it's zeros, right? So it comes all the way down.
Right.
So it's kind of parallel with the ground.
Okay.
And then when you loosen the clutch, there's some space that happens. And what you do is you kind of push it forward. And what happens is it pushes the axis out a little bit and then frees it up to move. So the couple things that I wanted to point out with regards to this technique was that, first of all, it does exist, right? So definitely watch our tutorials, because we do cover a lot of this stuff, and we try to cover a lot of the kind of the tips at the end of these types of things.
Right. Yeah. So watch them thoroughly, even a few times. I know a lot of people watch them a few times just to, so they're really able to grasp that information. That's why we were talking about downloading, when you're out in the field and stuff, which we'll cover again.
So part number one is there is this, and it works very effectively. But the thing is, so here's kind of my two add-on tips to this. One is when you start to rotate the altitude down at about 20 degrees, it gets increasingly harder. There's just a lot more weight that it's moving on, that kind of thing. So what you do is you kind of can push down on the counterweight bar while you're adjusting it. So you kind of push down, and then as you're moving this, you kind of help it a little bit.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
I guess it's kind of be like this, but and then when you actually try to go back, it's hard going from 0 degrees to 20 degrees. So you kind of, what I do is I lift up on the counterweight a little bit.
Great.
And that just is sort of
tip.
but it just helps it along. So that you can, and it takes a little bit of time. You got to go a little bit of time, and then it frees up after about 20 degrees.
Okay.
The other thing, and then we just talked about this, is when you are at 0 degrees and you loosen the clutch, you got to kind of, you have to push it forward a little bit.
Okay.
Right. So what I do is I kind of grab the front of the tripod, and I kind of on the back of the RA axis, kind of where the clutch is, just kind of bang it a few times. You want to be gentle about it, but you want to push that thing forward.
Are you pushing the clutch?
Yeah, the whole clutch mechanism.
Okay.
Because
it
needs to separate from the mount in order to spin freely, but it's it's at 0 degrees, so it's not hard to do. You just kind of got to give it a little bit of a
Okay.
in that.
Got it.
And we should probably update our in our YouTube description of this to kind of point out these couple of things, and we probably will do that.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. Any content is better than no content, right?
Right. That is true. That is true.
Well, the next thing we were going to talk about was we got a lot of people that really liked the podcast. I did get customers that were calling and just saying, when are you guys going to do the next one? Which thank you very much for such great response. And we're glad that you guys are watching. But I wanted to go through some of the comments that people are writing on these.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I want to do some follow-up on those. Because we do read them. And we appreciate them.
Right, you're talking about the YouTube comments.
Yeah,
so
the YouTube.
We do read them all.
The not just the podcast ones, but all of our comments that are on there. So we do really, we appreciate them.
Okay, so we're gonna let's see here. So I'm gonna, since I have access to these comments and you don't. Here. So the first thing that we talked about was the Antikythera Mechanism and how to pronounce that.
You got it.
I've actually heard there's kind of two ways to pronounce this, but Antikythera is one and Antikythera is another one. That's actually the name of the Greek port in which they found this device underwater. It's part of a shipwreck, right?
Okay, got it.
But we wanted to make sure we pronounced it correctly because we did a terrible job last time.
One of our customers who just bought, a gentleman by the name of Edward, he just bought one of our mounts, and he called and he had watched our podcast, and he said that he watched another documentary on PBS about this mechanism. He says it's fascinating. So another documentary to go out there and watch if anybody wants to learn about the T-shirt design.
So in fact, we're going to show a little bit of this right now.
Okay.
This is the device itself that was, they showed the original sort of thing that they discovered in the bottom of the ocean, the ship, Mediterranean Sea.
Okay.
And this is this is them kind of showing how it's pieced together. And what's amazing to me about this is this thing was basically a solid piece of almost like rock. It was actually 7 separate parts. But through X-rays and CT scans, things like that they were able to figure out how all this stuff works and be able to determine these things. Now, this is, this is like a couple thousand, 3,000 years old, and they have these unbelievable mechanisms and that show basically the movement of the planets.
Yeah, but look at these. Okay, look at these spur gears. Well, I'm going to call it a spur gear. I don't know. That's what we call these things here. Okay, so. How are they getting this? How are they doing that?
No idea. This is just
tools.
astonishing
I know. It's
to
just,
me.
yeah, I know. They don't, we do it on a CNC machine, it's just it's pretty fascinating.
Right. So these are just, again, and there are so many gears that deal with, because ultimately this device is going to, in the front of it, it shows the accurate movement of the planets, and it also kind of it's used as a calculator or some sort of time machine that shows you the correct position of the planets at certain dates.
So amazing.
I don't know if it's going to, I don't want it to go forever here, but I think it's going to switch to the front. Okay. And then I think what happens is they show these kind of these various pieces. So there's the main part, and then of course it goes into some sort of cabinet.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And then these are all the various
look at this.
movements.
Oh my gosh, this is
so that's
amazing.
actually what they've determined. This is what it looks like, right?
It's just beautiful.
It's bananas.
It's neat. It's really cool.
It really is.
Well, I'm glad that you found that for the T-shirt, and I have good news for you, Brian.
Oh God, thank God.
They're printing.
They're printing the T-shirt now?
The T-shirts are printing.
That's
yes,
super cool.
I know. So I'm so excited. Cool. So we're gonna send. There's the winners. From the Heart Nebula contest. And then I think, Scott, we're just going to start. Anybody who buys a mount this year is, I'm going to put one in there.
So
you're going to get a T-shirt.
You're going to get a free shirt. Now, how do they request a size, or how does that work?
Well, right now, because we're so back ordered on it, we pretty much have to contact every single person before we're shipping them. So, because a lot can change in 6 weeks, right? You might have an emergency or whatever. So we want to make sure that when we ship it to them, that they're going to be able to receive it. So I'm pretty much calling every single person. And even if you buy it from a dealer, let's say you bought it from one of our authorized dealers, and you didn't get it in the box because I didn't necessarily know your size or your phone number to call you.
So you didn't get a t-shirt, right?
Yeah. If you didn't get one, just send me a receipt of your order through one of our dealers, and with your t-shirt size, and we'll get one out to you. I know. Scott,
nice.
that was all Scott. I mean, he's just all excited about the 40 years, right?
40 years has been a long time in business.
I know. I thought that was pretty fun of him. So what he suggested.
So let me ask you, because there's a related question to this. As it comes up quite often, if someone was to buy a mount through one of our authorized resellers versus buying direct, is there any difference in terms of the timing for those?
No, basically everything is just going through by date. So if you're going through a dealer now, say we do have our dealers, they will order like 5 mounts at a time, so we just go through the order. But no, there's no difference.
So you're saying it's first in, it's based on the date the order was received.
Exactly, yes.
Whether it was from a dealer or whether it was from a direct customer.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
So there's no difference. They buy through a dealer, they buy through us, whatever.
No difference. Yeah. I understand that why people want to go through one of the authorized resellers, and the reason is because you're not just buying a mount. You might be buying a telescope. You might be buying a camera also. Some of them offer rewards programs and everything like that.
So in rewards, but they also help you configure things.
Correct.
And give you some expertise.
They're great
around
support.
That.
Right. So, a lot of the people out there, they have their special salesperson that they like to go to, just that they have a relationship with. I had some. Yeah.
Totally fine.
Yeah. So we don't care. Yep.
All right. Very good. I like that. It's very good.
Yeah. So I wanted to, another thing that we were talking about last week, we were talking about how to say the name, which you just said. I haven't worked on it.
Antikythera Mechanism.
Yes. But we were also talking about the downloading the videos. I wanted to kind of circle around with that. Do you know what it? Okay, I'm sorry. We can skip that. Wait, where's my bell? Where's my bell?
Don't ring the bell. No, you don't ring the bell. You can ring it.
Maybe I should put that here, and you said that means no. Don't do that, Tanya.
Tanya wanted the bell originally so we could do like a drinking game.
Yes, that is right. I know. It is true.
But no, I don't. So
we have to do a shot for every time or something.
The discussion from last time was, is there some way to download the videos? We did get some comments. In fact, when we were sitting here trying to talk about the comments from somebody suggested. People was mentioning that we could use Vimeo
right
to download. So that's true, but we don't have a Vimeo account.
Okay.
And chances are we're probably not going to do one.
Okay.
I mean, it's all true. It's a good idea.
Right.
If we had one, we probably would do that. But
okay.
We're going to figure something out. I just haven't had a chance to look at that just yet.
Okay.
So,
but yeah, we're listening to your comments. We're listening to what everybody is mentioning out there. That's, I think, why we're doing the podcast and everything like that. So, so if you do want to leave comments, you know the place to do it. Just leave it in the comments on the YouTube, or you can email us. So at TanyaK.com or TanyaK@Losmandy.com.
Indeed.
Yeah.
All right.
And then, Brian, I know you don't like it when I say toy, but I see you have a new toy here.
Oh, you're talking about this one here in front?
Yeah. Do you want to show this to us?
So we. Oh, well, first of all, it's not my toy, right? But I do a lot of mount testing. I mean, I'm up. I have 2 separate mounts in my house, and we basically put different mounts up all the time, or I should say 2 different piers.
Right.
Put them up all the time, test them as much as we possibly can. So when I worry about things like getting things set up quickly, doing polar alignment, things like that, I mean, I'm really kind of focused on what's the fastest way I can do this.
Of course.
Because it's probably 3 or 4 hours a night minimum. And if I can shave 20 minutes off of something to do that kind of stuff, I'm going to do that. So we do now have actually our POV cam, right?
Yes,
so we're going to try this out.
Do you want me to hold it?
Yeah, okay. I want you to. So just let's see. Is this going to work? Here we go. You can pick it up.
There's my bell.
You can pick it up.
Okay. I was just pointing at my bell.
Well, no one's interested in your bell.
Okay, so I can't really. Is that a good position?
I don't know. I can't tell. But here, you want to hand this thing? No, hand me that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Or actually, yeah, maybe hand me the camera.
Okay. Okay.
It's like so
I
professional.
think you might see it a little better
So
than
this is just kind of move it around. So this is a
DVA. It's a customized DVA, kind of.
Yeah. So basically, what we did was we did a custom version for mounting your PoleMaster to. Are you gonna grab it again?
Yeah, I'll try it.
Okay. So basically, you can mount it to your dovetail, and that way you can move it between.
Hey, there's the Wurlitzer.
Oh yeah.
There's the Wurlitzer, guys. Look. Oh, you took it away. But
Okay. Well, yeah. So you pointed the Wurlitzer again. There you go.
All right.
But this is a generic mount that can be used for an existing PoleMaster. We did propose it at some point.
Scott mentioned it on Facebook. Yeah. So
and he didn't get a lot of interest at that time.
No, so he kind of just put it off he shelved it.
Right.
And then you saw it, and you're like, "Whoa, I need this."
I do need
testing. Yeah, like I need this.
It saved me a ton of time.
And so maybe us just putting a picture of it on Facebook didn't do it justice. So if we see people with interest in this, and if we think a lot of people do, Scott's willing to make it.
Right. So you can just hold it up. We're on the main camera now.
Okay.
So here's the deal. If you guys are interested in this, in something like this, just put a comment down there. Let us know. If there's enough people who are interested, we'll make it. We'll consider making it for sure. So,
all right.
But I find that to be hugely helpful because I have to, switch between a couple different mounts. I only have one PoleMaster, but it speeds things up quite considerably.
Great.
And you do need to. Actually, no. I was trying to think. There are some good tips on how to use it, but it's really very straightforward.
Oh well, great. So, we like easy.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, we do like easy. Yes.
Sure.
And okay, so one other thing that we were talking about that me and you, like after we do the podcast and watch it and stuff like that, you and I kind of discuss what we talked about and if there was anything else to follow up on.
Right, and how badly I sucked in the podcast.
That is not, no, I did not say that to anybody. He's wrong.
No, I say that about me. I'm
no,
just like, oh my God,
think
I can't believe I was jabbering on like a daft tuna fish.
No, you're awesome. You're awesome, Brian. But one of the things...
You're awesome too. Thank you.
Well, thanks. I like that. I like the sound of that. You can say that anytime.
It's the Mutual Admiration Society, right?
Yeah. But we were talking about traveling to dark sites. And like you said, there's nothing better than a dark site. Like, you're that's going to be like your Chile observatory. But there's so much great new technology now that you are doing this in your driveway every single night in downtown LA, and you're getting amazing images too. So what are some of those things that help you go out in your driveway or your backyard in a light polluted area and help you achieve some of those images that you're getting?
Yeah, so it was discussion that you and I and Scott and some other folks here were having during a lunch, one or two lunches.
Okay.
And, essentially I think the discussion was with, all this new technology you have, very, very fast telescopes like RASA's
the Hyperstar.
The Hyperstars,
okay.
right. So these things are like, F2, F1.8, just astonishingly fast.
Right.
Gather, just big light sponges. And you have a lot of these filters coming out now, like the L Enhance, the L Extreme. These are things that are designed to filter light pollution out. Okay. Right? Mm-hmm. And then there's some other ones, like I have a quad band one I think it's called a Radian or Radius, but it's from OPT.
It's Radian. I'm almost positive. Yes, they're getting those Radian. They're getting a lot of talk. I think they're really good.
Yeah, it's horrifyingly expensive, right? It's over $1,000.
For a filter? My God, this hobby is so expensive.
Right, but look, it's a quad band. So the idea behind the filter, which is a good idea, is that you can have a one-shot color camera. Oh. And with this filter, you essentially get your hydrogen alpha, your S2, your O3, and I think it might even be hydrogen beta. I'm not sure what the fourth band is, but if you were to go and buy each of those filters individually, you could burn
$1,200, $1,800. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely. That's true.
So
Okay.
it's not
And now you only have one filter.
right, but it's designed for use with a one-shot color camera. So you wouldn't you wouldn't use it with a monochrome camera, for
Right,
example. It wouldn't
okay.
make any sense, kind
Right,
of thing.
of course.
But what you would do is, you put it on there, and then essentially you get a one-shot narrowband kind of camera, and narrowband is oftentimes what people do when there's a lot of light pollution or the moon is out or whatever, right? I mean, it's what you do. What you do, you shoot the hydrogen alpha stuff when the moon is out, kind
Right.
of thing.
Okay.
Because
okay.
it's such a narrow frequency of light.
Okay.
That it kind of filters out like the moon glow and things like that.
I'm learning a little as you're telling me this stuff too. So thank you.
So, I mean, but the discussion we were having, which essentially is, okay, with all of this technology, we've got these very, very fast telescopes and gather tons of light, right? So you're not having to produce something that's like 30 or 40 hours worth of exposure. You can do it much, much quicker. What? We can you want to just say
Just guys. Shh. Good. Shh.
podcast. I know. All right. Well, we're gonna make it's a working environment. People aren't
Yes,
stop
that
working.
is true.
I mean,
That's true.
Just gonna
That's
be
true.
how it is.
It is the way it is.
But so our discussion was, with all these new technologies, and it's a giant pain in the butt to go to a dark side. You got to dial
Yes.
everything up. You got to
Right.
set everything up.
Things you might forget.
Things you might forget a bunch of stuff.
Right.
But basically, do you no longer need to go to a dark side? Right?
And then that way you're able to do this every single night if you'd like, if you have the time, I mean, but some people don't want to drag it out, so I think this is great. I think it's fun. I think maybe that's why a lot more people are starting to get into astrophotography this last year. It's been insane.
They don't have
it's really growing.
I'm like a lot of people. I don't have a lot of time, but what little time I have, I want to be imaging, right?
Not driving 3 hours.
Yeah, not driving
right?
3 hours and then it's setting something up and realizing, I set it up, but it wasn't, I forgot a piece or it's not working in the way that it was at home kind of thing.
Right.
And so the idea is, with these new technologies, you can do a lot more imaging from your driveway and be a lot more effective. But the reality is there's just no substitution for dark skies. There really isn't. I mean, you can create some wonderful images, but when you sort of, my criteria, and I learned this from Adam Block. Adam, I don't know if you're listening.
Hi, Adam.
But, he says, look, your image has to hold up at 200%.
Okay.
200% magnification.
Oh, right. Okay.
And some of my Chilean ones are I feel like I'm getting close to that. I mean, Adam is a world-class astro imager and processor.
I think if you are an astrophotographer, you know who Adam Block is.
Yeah, and I think he's got almost 100 APODs.
Oh.
I mean, it's astonishing how many APODs this guy has. I mean, his images are all totally beautiful.
Wow.
Each one is better than the last one. He does a ton of work. He did the Mount Lemmon Sky Center.
Okay.
For quite a number of years.
Right, okay.
And now he's sort of freelancing, doing some other stuff.
Neat.
But he says, look, it should hold up at 200%. And many of the images I do from my driveway, I'm very proud of and I enjoy them.
Yes.
But I have to focus on very, very bright targets.
Okay.
And even then, they're really noisy and they lack that really, when you look at an image at a very fine detail and you sort of feel like you're peering into these clouds and seeing things.
Right. Right.
So
dark sites are still very valuable.
I think dark
They're
sites
definitely worth it.
Yes.
Too.
So all this technology is great. I mean, it's if you can get out there and be imaging, if it's in your driveway or wherever, that's great. That's what makes it work, right? But if you get the opportunity, really, there is no substitute for a dark side.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of my feeling about it.
I think that's probably a lot of people's feelings about it. Definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, thank you for that. So you brought in a bag, and so Brian was showing me all this stuff in this bag, and it's all this stuff that's so awesome. And so we're gonna have a bag of tricks and tips. Is what we're gonna do. Are you ready for this? I'm gonna pull it out of the bag because I want to be like, woohoo! What is this?
I'm pretty sure I called it my bag of crap, like just stuff I use.
Okay,
but you wanted to do this shtick. Okay,
I did.
We'll do it.
So what we're going to be showing you is things that Brian has learned throughout the years of being a Losmandy mount owner, and he's passing along some knowledge for all of you guys out there. So this is really fun. Okay.
That sounds way more interesting.
Ooh.
It sounds way more interesting than it actually
This is very, very. What is this?
All right, so this. Let me see here. I can do this here. So this is
Do you want me to hold it,
no, I got it.
got it?
But
Okay.
maybe we can do the
GoPro?
The GoPro.
Okay,
here.
let's
So
do that.
Try this out.
Okay.
This is I'll try to make sure but this is a 3D printed holder for the hand controller. So
That
this
clamps onto the leg.
Right. So this part clamps onto the leg. This part is where you put your hand controller in. And I haven't had a chance to use this much, but it's a very clever design. And it seems it's for
Scott and I put it on.
Very,
Yeah, Scott said it was really nice. And it's somebody on Cloudy Nights that has it. But if you have a 3D printer, you can make one yourself, probably.
It's
correct?
possible. We should probably put the link to this.
Okay.
We'll do that. We'll put it in the description here. But that's a thing that's available. But a lot of folks ask about some sort of hand controller.
A lot of people do.
Thing.
Yes.
And
solution.
This is one that I think he actually will print for you.
Yeah, I think they're $20.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the price
Which
is.
is a great price.
Yeah,
I think so.
And there are other ones, but this is a really nice one. We've tried this one out. Sorry, I don't remember your name, but we'll make sure to put you in the description, okay?
Yes.
That'll be good, kind of thing.
Yes. Thank you for showing. Okay. Now I've got another bag with tips and tricks in it.
Well,
oh my gosh. So what is this, Brian?
this is my junk bag.
What is this?
This is my junk.
Please tell me.
So this is on my Gemini's got tons of ports,
right?
Which is great. It's got an Ethernet port, a USB port. It's got serial ports. It's got all kinds of stuff.
Okay.
But it has, in addition to that, we have.
Sorry, I was talking to Delaney. She's leaving work, and I told her to go ask Scott to give her a ride. Scott usually leaves around this time, so.
Okay, but why are you whispering?
I was whispering to her because.
But when you whisper into a microphone, it's at any rate.
I know. Okay.
Okay, so at any rate, this is so the Gemini has a lot of ports, and we don't necessarily use all of them.
Okay. Right.
And also the computer I have has a lot of ports. I don't necessarily use all of them.
Okay.
It's got extra USB ports. It might have a spare Ethernet port, things like that. And then I have sort of various other ports, like, for example, on my camera, it has an ST4 port that I never use for guiding things like that. So this is a collection of silicone and plastic plugs that I have purchased and can use. And we might have to do this with the...
everybody out there, this is great. I get people that send in their Gemini and...
Let me use this one.
Okay, there, dew gets in it, and it gets corroded.
Right. So let's do grab the camera here. So let's I don't know if you can see this. So what we have here is these are silicone. They're called port plugs, I think. They're also called port protectors. Okay. So this is a one that's for like an RJ style connector. There's some clear colored ones. These are for, I don't know if you can see that easily, but this is for a USB port. This is for a different kind of USB port. There's a USB A and USB C. There is things like this is USB C. There are also on my computer. I have
everything. It seems like
this is for like the audio ports.
Okay,
that are on there. Can you sort of see that there?
Oh wow. Okay.
But
yeah.
The thing is that you can buy these, and they're designed kind of for PCs and other types of things. And what you do is just put them in the ports, and they keep dust out, things like that.
Oh, that's great.
So we do have a couple of links that we'll put in from Amazon.
Okay.
And they're really cheap. I think, for $10 you can buy, enough port protectors.
For whatever you have, it seems like.
For basically ever.
Oh, wow. That sounds awesome. Okay. Yeah. I'm reaching in. Reaching in the bag.
It's my junk stuff.
You showed me what this is for, and I am so excited about this.
So this is, there's an official name for this. I know it doesn't really look that interesting, but this is a...
You weren't supposed to bust me saying bye to my daughter and telling her I love her.
Bye. Are you going to say goodbye? We're on the...
I love you. Bye, honey. I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay. She's getting a ride. Don't worry. Okay. So this is a cable wrap. Again, we'll put a link into the description. But what I like about these is they're kind of a combination of, I think, rubber, plastic, or maybe silicone and metal. And what's great for these, I don't think I have any. We've got cables everywhere, but none that I can grab. But what you can do is, it's really good to sort of just grab this. You can kind of wrap some cables around.
It's great for cable management. Do you know how many people we have that call about that?
Yeah, so I love these. And a lot of times what I'll do, for example, when I was talking about the Pole Master, it needs a USB cable, right?
Okay.
But what we can do is I pull out the USB cable. I have it on here. I just sort of pull it apart. And then it's good to go. And then when I'm finished, I just sort of wrap it up again, and it's good to go.
I love it.
So
I love that. I love that. So one of the things that I know cable management, people are always like, why, when it's going to do cable management into the, you guys are probably wondering what I'm doing with my hands. Don't worry. We'll explain this in just a moment. The cable management, but he doesn't want to put I don't think he ever intends on doing management through the mount, because if technology changes, which it does, it changes constantly, he doesn't want the mount to be outdated. So that's why I think he's not going to do that. And I did see a comment on one of our YouTube videos. So I don't know if I'm explaining that well, but I don't think he plans on doing that.
Right. So I think what you're describing is there are people asking about putting sort of a USB hub or connectors inside of the mount so that you can just sort of plug a cable on one side, and then on the other side there's another cable kind of thing.
Exactly,
right?
Yeah.
And I think the feeling is we've seen recently where there's a number of issues that have come up, either because it's a bad port, the cable got wrapped up, maybe there's some interference, things like that.
Right.
And the problem is when it's built into the mount, you kind of, I don't want to say you're screwed, but
you have to send that in.
It's a lot harder. So yeah, it depends on the
right, yeah,
on the way the mount is designed. So I don't think that Losmandy is opposed to the idea of doing some sort of cable management.
Right.
But seeing the issues that have come up from people who have dealt with sort of built-in USB hubs, and seeing that the outcome of their the solution to their problem is to send the mount in or to kind of bypass using it.
Right.
Doesn't really seem like a great idea.
Right. So
but let us know.
Yes. Anything else?
Know what you think.
Anything.
Put it in the comments. Let us know what you think. We can talk about it next time.
Yeah,
if you
definitely.
guys feel strongly about it. We're certainly looking at all options. So.
Okay. Next that I just pulled out of your bag of tricks. I don't know why a game controller. Is this like an Xbox game controller?
You know what? We should have Paul Konevsky on the show. So Paul wrote the Gemini Telescope.net driver and software system.
Right. Okay.
And it is worked for many, many years.
Okay.
I mean, it's one of the most solid drivers out there. It's just, I mean, it's about bulletproof. But one of the features he put in was the ability to use a game controller. You can plug it into your PC.
Okay.
Most people do not know this.
I know.
But you can plug it into your PC using sort of a standard USB.
Okay.
And can you see that okay? Yeah, it's not really in focus. Can I do something like this?
Maybe because you're darker. Do you want me to hold it? Oh, I see what you're saying.
Oh, well, yeah, you can hold it if you. And I'll
maybe
just sort of
because I
switch
have a
it to
light
you
shirt
kind of
on.
thing. There you go.
I don't know. Maybe does that?
Just hold it up towards your. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
But all you do is you connect this to your computer, and there's a place where you configure it, and you can actually use a game controller to control your mount. And I wouldn't necessarily.
How fun.
I wouldn't say that it's like everyone should go out and buy a game controller and do it.
Right. Okay.
But we did have some people who, either lost their hand controller or damaged it or whatever.
So you have a backup in a sense.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And for the $10 it takes to do this,
right?
It was a great idea. So and Paul did a wonderful job. We really got to get him on the show.
I love that.
He's done.
Yeah. Well, I think we're gonna start having guests on when we set it up. We're just not set up for that stuff quite yet.
Yeah, we've got now we've got 2 of these A10 minis, so we've got some extra ports, and I think we're going to start doing some Zoom controllers, things like that, Zoom presentations, and getting other folks, including some Losmandy user community folks in to talk about some of their experiences.
I would love that.
As
Yeah,
well, so.
yeah, we're excited to do that. Okay, I think you told me what this is, but I kind of forget.
Yes. So this is okay. I'm gonna.
Do you want me to hold it?
You can hold
okay,
it.
I'll hold it.
So a lot of times we are asked about how to size a battery for not just the Losmandy mount, but
for all of your gear.
But for all of the gear. That's
Okay.
correct. Yeah. And it's tricky because you basically ideally what you should do is you should run the entire thing for a night.
Okay.
And kind of figure out how much amperage you used, and then you can figure out kind of how big of a battery that's available. Because basically we're dealing with like 12 volt DC power.
Right.
So that device is an inline device
Okay.
where it can actually count the amp hours. It's got a whole lot of stuff. It's done by, I think it's a company called PowerWorks.
Yep, that's what it says on it.
It's got some Anderson power pole style connectors on each end. But you
Okay.
put that in line.
Okay.
And what I do is I run it the entire night. And then in the morning, I just sort of look at the total.
Okay.
And, for my type of setup, which is a Losmandy mount, cooled astronomical camera, maybe dew heaters, the computer, the little Intel style nut
Okay.
computer that goes on there, which does suck a lot of juice.
Okay.
Surprisingly. I think I ended up about 14, 15 amp hours. So usually what you want to do is multiply that by 150 or 200% till you
Okay.
have some overhead that's available. And so I ended up getting, I think, about a 25 amp hour battery
Okay.
as a result of that. And it's a really handy way to kind of instantly know what your power intake is going to be.
Excellent. These are great. These are great tips for everybody out there, especially. I mean, even if you've been doing this for a while, but even new people, trying to figure stuff out.
Right, right. And by the way, the Losmandy mount itself takes almost no energy. I think in steady state tracking, it's maybe like 0.3 amps, something like that. And when it's slewing, for the short time it's slewing, it might be, maybe 1 or 1.5 amps. I mean, it's compared to the computer and the camera. The sensor, it's being cooled,
Right,
especially.
right.
It's just
cooling,
almost
yeah.
no. It's
Okay.
almost no energy. So
Got it. Awesome. That's a great little tool. I pulled this out of the bag, and so what is this?
what are they? What is
No, they're like little 3M sticky things.
Oh.
What are like little clampies? Maybe is this another cable management thing?
It is. So, and what we might want to do is use our little
Okay.
super duper. Well, so I don't really know how well this is going to work here, but so what these are, don't worry, I can see it. Don't worry. So what these are kind of cable management things. So you stick them on to your mount, to your dovetail, whatever it is.
All right.
And you can open them up like this. They kind of, and then there's a little kind of a ratcheting thing that allows you to close them. But this is great for routing cables on your mount. That
Very
isn't super
inexpensive, I would
destructive.
think, too.
Oh my God. I think if I bought like, 4 or 5,000 of these things, it'd be like, $5 or something like that.
Okay.
And they're
Great.
really not super high end, but they do a great job of just, if you got a lot of cables and you just kind of want to stick something on there and make it work.
I love this.
Yeah, it'll be pretty good. So.
Yeah, very nice.
I do, and by the way, they actually do well in terms of sticking. Like I've had
said
someone.
do. I heard it. Okay, everybody at the office. No joke. If anybody says that here at the office, everybody kind of rouses them. You just said doo-doo. I heard it. It's on. Hey, it's on the podcast.
I can't
It's
deny
right
it. I can't deny it.
It was recorded.
I was unfamiliar with that rule, that unwritten rule of the office. But
funny.
okay.
Well, thank you for sharing some of those tips with us. I think a lot of people get good use out of it. So
Yeah, and if people have some ideas of their own on little sort of gizmos
Please.
and knickknacks they use, again, we want to see some of that stuff in the comments. We'll talk about it next time.
Definitely. I would love that. Yeah. Definitely. Next time, I think that we're going to be on, we're going to do a run through of the configurable mounts that we have put up on the website. We're going to put that up. We're going to go through that our next podcast.
Yeah.
And talk about some of the accessories, what the uses of them are for, like the CKSs, which is the clutch knobs. We're going to kind of go through all that.
Right, because we do have configurable mounts
Yes.
on our website, and that's just one way that people can order these kind of enhancements or upgrades.
Correct.
But we get a lot of questions about what they are.
Yeah, so we'd like to run that. We're going to go through that first on our next podcast, so stay tuned for that. That will be exciting. Hopefully we're going to do it maybe a little bit sooner. So, and then we'll have a T-shirt, a live T-shirt. We both should wear the T-shirt on our next podcast.
Oh, you're talking about the 40th anniversary T-shirt?
Yeah.
Is he going to actually do those, or?
He's doing them right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Gary Gary is the guy he's right around the corner. He's printing them up for us. Great guy. California Tees, I think, is his shop.
Yeah, and he's silk screening them, right?
Yeah. And he called me today and he said, starting. And I said, awesome. Yeah, so.
That's so great.
Yeah, I'm so excited to get these out there to everybody. So everybody's been wanting them.
Nice. That's
really
nice.
So thank you again for doing that design. I think it's really exciting.
Oh, yeah. Totally
it's
my
great.
pleasure.
Yeah.
It's
really
fun.
good thoughts. Yeah. So until next time, everybody.
Are we done?
I think we are. Yes. Gosh. Yeah, we are done. Got a lot of things to talk about in the next one.
All right. Well, I guess that we'll just sing ourselves out, right?
Yeah. I'll see you next time. I'll see you later. But
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks again. See you soon.
What happened? I thought we were going to do some other stuff.
I know, but it's been an hour.
Are you watching the clock?
Well, I'm not necessarily watching the clock, but I don't want it to go back too much past an hour. I think people would get bored.
All right. Very good.
We can save some stuff for the next one. Did